You say that we failed these children. Why do you say that?
Well, we failed them in three ways, Phil. First and foremost among them is that we've allowed this pandemic to get so far out of control that we now lead the world in the exactly wrong way. The second way we failed our children was that we closed our schools abruptly and summarily without any requisite infrastructure or transition plan and went to a distance learning model that we had absolutely no experience with. And the third way is that the moment we closed, just as you said, we didn't immediately begin planning for how to get students back. And so we find ourselves in a position now where we are scrambling, as you said, to try to make something happen in very, very short order. The truth is that schools were the first thing to close and the last thing to open in our society. And in my opinion, it should have been the exact reverse.
I see what's happened in Georgia, and I understand that there are risks of going back to school, but I'm concerned about the long-term impact of kids staying out of school in terms of their social development, their mental and emotional issues of loneliness, boredom, depression, all of the things that go along with being in interaction with their peers. They're missing all the things that develop the child other than academically, and I'm concerned that we have so many mandated reporters that are the eyes and ears on children that are the victims of domestic abuse and sexual molestation, and those eyes are not on these children. There are so many other things besides just the academics that have fallen by the wayside because we don't have these children in school developing and being under the watchful eye of so many people that care about them.
You're absolutely right. School serves many important functions, some of which will not come back in the near future. There are two other points I want to make, though. One is what's lacking in this national conversation about schools is that we speak about them monolithically. We're doing that on the show now, which is to say we ask the question, should schools be open or should they be closed? Which says that a kindergartner is exactly the same as a high school senior. A kid with special needs is the same as a kid who's developing normally. A child in Georgia or Florida, where the prevalence of COVID is so high, is the same as a child who's in a remote town in Iowa where the prevalence is very low. So we shouldn't have this conversation in such generalities. We need to be very specific because it matters to every single child that they have the opportunity to be in school. But it matters most to primary school children. The single best predictor of high school graduation is third grade reading levels. So if a child is not reading at grade level by the end of third grade, they're 4 times less likely to graduate than if they are. A low-income child that's not reading at grade level is 6 times less likely to graduate than if they are. If we put those two together and accept that we're not really doing a good job educating primary school children, and they're going to be out of school for at least a year and a half, think about what that's going to mean for those children and for us as a society, not today where it feels invisible, but 13 years from now when they're slated to graduate high school.
Well, it's just devastating.